What's up, guys? Got a question from Melvin, and he writes, Mike, can you do a video on how a person can find a job that will give them the least amount of stress and still pay the bills? Well, that's a dilemma that many people are in modern society. And it reminds me of a story of a woman. I don't remember where I heard it from, but basically she was asked, what do you need money for? And she said, so I could buy a car, so I could buy all this nice clothes and all this stuff. And the person asked, well, why do you need all that stuff? Well, I need all that stuff. I have to wear these, new outfits and everything and have a car so I can drive to work. So it's one of those loops where you're doing all this stuff so that you can work, so you can make money, so you can buy more stuff for work. And that may or may not apply to you, but that's just sort of a funny example. And so in modern society, many of us are in this trap of doing things so we can feed our families, so we can pay the bills. But really, how much of the stuff that we're buying do we really need? And are there other ways to get around getting those things? We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I invite you to check out my video about how to find your passion, gift, or purpose. And this is really the most important piece, energetically and vibrationally. Because if you understand the idea that if you're doing what you love, you never have to work a day in your life, then finding your passion, finding your gift, assures you energetically that the universe will support you because that's your gift. That's what you're offering to the world. So when you're practicing your gift, rather than just doing something that pays you, not only will this gift or passion support you monetarily or in other ways, but you'll be enjoying what you're doing. It's going to be much easier, and money will flow to you much easier, and your life is just going to be that much richer because you're passionate about what you do versus just doing something that pays. And so that's the first place to look, right? Find out what your passions are and make an effort to pursue some of those goals or some of those gifts or talents or things that you enjoy, and find out how they can become a potential career for you. The other thing is to get rid of stuff that you don't need. Now, there's another video I have about getting rid of stuff. I'll post that link below also. And so many of us become a slave to our stuff. So you want a bigger house. I know there are people who have these huge houses and they have this huge mortgage and they have loans for cars, for homes, for other products that they have. And so they have all this stuff and now they got to work overtime just to pay for their stuff. And how much easier would it be just to have less stuff and have to work less so you have more time to enjoy your life rather than be obsessed with paying for all the stuff? So that's one of those things where you can kind of reevaluate and prioritize what's really important in your life. And you can check out my other video on prioritizing your life, which is another piece to it. But the idea is, you want to eliminate things that you absolutely don't need that you're paying for. And that's not to say that if you have money, you want to get more stuff. You can do whatever you want. But the first step to getting out of this trap or cycle of needing to pay the bills is to reduce the amount of bills you have for things that you don't really miss. Like when I moved, I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff, and frankly, most of the stuff I didn't need or I don't even miss it at all. So even if I had the money for it, like, why do I need that stuff? And so that's the question you have to ask yourself. A lot of people can spend $100 or more a month on a cell phone. And really, do you need all that stuff? Do you really use all those features? You have this cable bill and maybe you have 1 million channels on it. Do you actually watch TV that much? And if you had a choice, would there be something else you'd rather do with that money? I know people who go to work and part-time or they have a job that doesn't pay a lot, and they end up having a nanny to watch their kid while they work. And I'm like, well, you're going to work and almost all that money goes to pay for the nanny or the babysitter. So why not just stay home and cut some expenses, and you get to free yourself from working, and you get to be home with your kid. And that's the best thing. I mean, so it's just a matter of priority. And so there's many ways you can look at it. For example, people try to get organic food, and you can grow that yourself. And so you can start to build a more community-based environment where you can start learning how to do things that could benefit you and at the same time save you money. And so there's many ways you could look at it, but again, the starting point is to start living the life that you want to live and start opting out of the system that keeps us enslaved, which is buying more stuff, borrowing more money, and maybe transition to a society where education is not as expensive, and there's homeschooling. There's so many different ways that you can start to look, but it starts with being more self-sufficient and connecting with your community and finding things that really interest you. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but if you have any more questions, you can leave some comments below and I'll try to address them. Thanks for watching.